growing up, if you were sad or if you were feeling anything related to mental health, you were often told to get over it or be more positive, or maybe you're just not praying enough. But eventually, all of the trauma that I had growing up caught up to me, and I had to start realizing that things were not okay, and I really had to get my stuff together. So at that point in time, I was really fortunate that I was able to have an older sibling that helped my parents understand what I was going through. And so that really helped me with my journey and in getting help and improving my mental health in general. But also at the same time, it took a while for that to happen. And I feel like if we focused more of our energy in our community talking about this, it might have been easier for me to even understand what was happening with me in general. So that was something that I really wanted to reflect on. And I think that, obviously in my community, the Afghan community, there is a lot of trauma because obviously being, a part of a war, like witnessing a war and having to leave a country that you grew up in and moving from that and witnessing trauma from there, and that trauma just gets passed down through your generations. And so I know a lot of mental illness exists in my community, especially such as PTSD, depression, schizophrenia, that are all not really talked about, but are all originated in the trauma that's very widespread in our community. And it does need to be talked about more often. But also because I have elders in my community and people in my own family who experienced that trauma and who went through those mental struggles, it also helped to kind of pave the way to address those issues. And obviously not every single family is the same way, and not every single person in our community is blessed enough to have someone to look up to and to talk to about mental health. But I think as a community and as a city, as even in the Canadian context, there definitely needs to be a lot more investment towards that. And part of healing is in doing activities such as embroidery, and honestly part of creating embroidery was because of the pandemic. But yeah, those are my thoughts.